Good morning, everybody. My name is Bart Winkler, and I'm here with Chuck Freeman. Chuck and Winkler is back. Chuck, are you still there?
Yes, I am. Good to meet you. How you doing? First time on the show. Good to have you. Thanks for reaching out to me. Work on Locked On Brewers. I'm not good.
I've always wanted to connect with you. I've admired your work from afar.
Well, I appreciate that. I used to do a show on a Milwaukee sports radio station. Two of them, in fact. And then they realized, well, we're not any good. Me and the partner I was with. So here I am doing podcasts.
This is really a bummer. So when you're on a remote and it doesn't work.
Yep.
And then you come back on and it's working, but then you're skating on thin ice. Like
you don't know when it's not going to work again?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we started recording and Chuck and I talked off air for 15 minutes. One thing that Chuck had said was, I love StreamYard. It's so idiot proof. Even I can do it. And then I hit record and then we couldn't hear each other.
You mean all that stuff I just said a second ago about not being on Milwaukee sports radio? That was for real? That was
that we heard
live?
That we heard. But so now I'm worried that
we're gonna fall off.
Yeah, I think now we're not gonna get our best. I think our best is lost now.
Yeah.
I'm worried about that. Anyway, how are you son of a bitch?
Apparently a lot of people don't think we have our best anymore.
No, specifically people with titles like Director of Programming and Vice President of Place.
But not the listeners, though. The listeners, the fans, the most important people in the world, they think we're right on.
And you know who really thinks that we're electric and undefeated and unbeatable is you and I ourselves.
Although sometimes I doubt it because that phone don't ring. But you and I are doing just fine without it. That's great. We were just talking about
that's what we tell ourselves every day.
That's what we tell ourselves. You're on TV, I'm on TV, we're doing podcasts, and yeah, life's good. I'm not getting up at 4:00 in the morning. Don't have to answer to a heck of a lot. I'm on a KFIZ in Fond du Lac. I love being on with them. You're doing your thing. But yeah. Hey, your dad said it on a show I did last week. I interviewed your dad. It was the most, not controversial interview with a Winkler I've ever done. Your dad said, and I'm on this radio show. I do a radio show in Fond du Lac. I do a half-hour local show, and I had your dad because he's a local legend, Hall of Fame soccer coach. And he said his language would be a little cleaner than yours.
Oh, yeah. Well, that old greasy fuck knows exactly.
The first 2 minutes I talked to him, I was like, I hear Bart's tenor in his voice. I can just tell there's a similarity. Little tenor.
Without the rage or the 40 years of trying to prove to your first boss that you can make it in this business.
How are you? Well, we just did this about a month ago. People, I guess.
So now let's do it and kind of do a little mini show. Let's talk about some stuff.
Oh, only I'm not getting paid for it. You are.
I will make about $7.50 off the YouTube of this, and maybe a few bucks off of Blue Wire. So I could send you you want me to send you a $10 gift card to Ala Roma? I'd be happy to.
Ala Roma in Fond du Lac?
Yeah.
Or a euro at Oakland Euros. That'd be fine.
Did I text you when I saw David Stearns there?
The Mets general manager?
Yeah, he was there 3 weeks ago. I saw him. He's crossing the street with a huge bag.
He was in Milwaukee?
3 weeks ago, I saw him.
The former Brewer general manager. I thought he had long left. I mean, last time I heard,
I think he was in town for the playoff run. Well, you were there. You didn't see him?
Cleaning out his office or what?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, didn't.
I guess we could talk about the Brewers first.
Yeah.
So my whole take is, yeah, fine. and we've talked a lot about the baseball playoffs, like that's getting a lot of attention. It's just like 162 games, and especially like you, dude, doing Lockdown Brewers, investing in every game, every series, every transaction, building towards something, building towards what? Building towards a 27-hour playoff.
I know.
Like, I think when we think back, so we were able to share a lot of time in 2018 in a playoff run. Like, that was a run. First of all, the regular season, they went to St. Louis and then got into the playoffs. Then they go to Chicago, game 163. So there's already, like, it's building. Then they have a series against Colorado, a series they win. Then they go on and they just continue. And it's like, it was a playoff run.
Yeah.
And you don't get that anymore. You can if you like Philadelphia is on a playoff run, Texas, because they got through that first round. But if you don't, and the Brewers have not a lot, and then all these teams go and win go to the World Series, and then all of a sudden Arizona is like world beaters. I just think that for the Brewers, whatever model is happening, this bites of the apple, which is fine. It's getting you into the playoffs. But as a fan, like, my interest is not going to be there as high if I know that we're just going to, I don't know. It's like you get to the top of the mountain, and then before you can get at the top, you just like fall down to your death.
Well, that's what I kind of talked about on Lockdown Brewers, Bart. I just said,
like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Go to YouTube. And what I said is, well, we're not like the mid-major who's in the NCAA tournament just thankful they're going to the big dance, and whatever happens is a bonus. That's how I feel like sometimes it's treated. We're like Ohio University, the Bobcats. Oh, thank God we won the Mid-American Conference. Now we're going dancing. Sure, we're going to get it blown up by 25 points. Maybe we pull off the upset, but 4 days later, our season is going to end in a 11 a.m. loss to a 3 seed. But that's how we are for the Brewers these days. We get it. We win the NL Central, a horrible league. All right. Then we get to the big dance, and it's over in a matter of hours. Week later.
What's even the point?
Yeah. I mean, one playoff win, I think, since 2018. They haven't won a playoff series since Colorado series in 2018. You and I almost got a fist fight the next morning after a game, too. But we won't talk about that.
Well, you accuse me of falling asleep drunk, which I may have. All these years later, I may have dozed. Did that appear on TV? The picture of you with the blue coat? No. I was on TV.
Yeah.
That night because the seats were really good, and I was like standing up waving. The picture of the blue coat, Imig took that.
Okay.
And either tweeted it out or I tweeted it out after he sent it to me. And then I was like, and then you were like, I saw you asleep. And for some reason, I took that as you're the worst piece of shit that's ever existed. I fucking hate you. And then I was like all defensive and mad for no reason. I'm sorry.
No, you're right the first time.
Oh, yeah, see.
I don't even remember. I remember something about you falling asleep. I don't remember what we got in such a fight about, but I don't know why we get a fight over. Why we'd get over a fight over that. I don't know why, but oh, well.
Because it was like 9:30 that morning and we hadn't gotten in a fight yet.
Yeah.
So,
I thought about us, during when the season started or this postseason started. I said, boy, what a time for Milwaukee to miss out on Chuck and Winkler, because we had the Packers, we had Damian Lillard becoming a Milwaukee Buck. I mean, what better time to have you and I on the radio than right now? Is there? God.
Well, that's what I go. Now, I don't want to be all like Milwaukee Jason Barrett again on this podcast.
Yeah, no, we
don't. Sports radio.
No, we don't.
But I still like, that's where there's what's missing is something happens. People have a rush to the radio. Yeah. Like there's news stations on all day that no one listens to. Like a lot of people do, but a lot of people just don't. And when there's bad weather coming, then I go to it. Then I flip on the weather. With sports, you can talk, and I know that Packers are king. I get that, but when Damian Lillard gets traded to the Bucks, like people are rushing to you. You can feel it. You know they are.
Yeah,
and I think that that's underserved.
It is.
But but I can't have that opinion because I'm on the outside. And it makes me look petty.
No, it doesn't though, because you've been there and just trying to do what's best for Milwaukee sports radio. And we've always done that. And let's face it, what's best for Milwaukee sports radio, I don't think you're going to get any argument is having us on a show to talk about these things. I'll be honest. I'm not going to bullshit you. That's true. They know it. We know it. The
Freems and I, to give you an insight, to give people an insight on just how strongly we feel about what we can offer. We think that the stations should get in a bidding war for us and then give us a morning show on one station and an afternoon show on the other.
No, I don't want to do early morning shows ever again.
That's
but yeah, no, but I don't want to come on here and play.
Well, we'll do it anyway. I mean,
but yeah, but my point was, yeah, it would have been great coming on. You and I talking about Damian Lillard and talking about this, how bad coaches are in college and pro football, and this Brewers week run of 27 hours, and an outlet for our fans too. Again,
yeah. The problem is we're now profiting off ourselves instead of some nameless corporation.
Yeah, we're still employed.
Chuck and I are actually we're actually doing better and like what we're doing, but we just have this desire to work for the man again and be treated worse and make less money for some reason.
Somebody very close to me said this to me the other day. She goes,
who? Yeah.
So I said I was going to be on the Bill Michaels show on Tuesday. Oh, that's great for you. Oh, that's fantastic. It keeps you relevant. I said, relevant? Yeah, it keeps your name out there. Well, let's see. I'm on Locked On Brewers. I'm on Channel 4, KFIZ in Fond du Lac, AP Network that's everywhere. I'm still there. I'm still around. It's like just because I'm not on Milwaukee Sports Radio doesn't mean I'm not. Doesn't mean I'm still relevant. Oh,
Friends, I was listening. I was able to drive a couple of weeks ago, and I was listening to Bill, and they said that Freems was coming up, and I got all giddy. And then you were late for your hit.
It was. You know what? And I took a shower. It's the only time I missed it all year. And I took a shower, and I thought, and my alarm was. I set my alarm for 12:30 because I'm on Bill's show every Tuesday at 12:30. And I set the alarm, and all of a sudden, oh my God, I got out of the shower wringing wet, and my alarm's going off. I'm getting messages from Grant Bilsey that, hey, where the hell are you? And I called him back, and I'm sorry. So I was on at 1:00, but I missed it.
No, it is just pronounced Bills.
I know. I call him Bilsey.
Oh, Coach Bilsey?
Coach Bilsey.
Okay. I didn't know.
I call him Bilsey.
Okay. Sure. Good cover.
Why do I call him Bilsey?
Okay.
And he just lets me go.
Okay, so Brewers. The GM talked Tuesday, said absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And we're so trained to ask questions we know we won't get answers to. Media, and I'm not ripping on anyone. I'm not faulting anyone. But we ask questions like, now I know you won't answer, but are you going to make any trades? And then he's like, yeah, we want to trade. I know you won't answer. I know you can't get into the specifics. We give that cover for them. But they say nothing. We don't know any more about Counsell. We don't know any more about Burns. We don't know any more about. I saw a great tweet about Counsell that was like, guys, we don't know where Dad's gonna go. We don't know what he wants to do, but he's not coming home. We just have to admit that he's not coming home.
That wasn't one of the Counsell boys who put that one out, did it?
That was Jack.
Oh, it was? He's not coming home? Oh, he's not coming home at night because he's working somewhere.
No, it was just some guy, but we got to so I talked about this the other day, but in 2014, when the Packers lost the NFC Championship, we always mention it once a show.
Mm-hmm.
You needed a change. They knew it. They went with it. Are we at that place with Counsell? Like, he is so good and he's so smart and we love him. But this guy purposely set up a situation where they were going to get booed at home in the playoffs with Winkler. And then we have just, it's like, and it's not his fault. It's like, it's baseball, right? It's baseball. And they lose in these fluky ways. Longoria catch, Chris Taylor catch. Who's the guy? Grisham missing a ball. They lose in fluky ways. But at some point, don't you just have to say, maybe we just need like a change in the vibe? I don't know. I'm not saying fire Counsell, even though I did the other day, but you know what I mean?
Well, here to that point, I would say this. They won 92 games. They don't have a very good team. If you look at it, look at that team. Look at that lineup. How do they win? I've said this all year long. How do they win 92 games in that lineup? Well, their pitching was so good. And then when the pitching failed them in the postseason, they're trying to have to win games with 2 or 3 runs. That's not going to get it done. That's just like a microcosm of the whole season. And those 2 pitchers that pitched in those games, I'm not faulting Burns and I'm not faulting Peralta, but we're asking those guys to be perfect out there because the offense is so bad. That lineup is just brutal offensively most of the season. So they won 92 games. So to your question, I would say, is it Counsell's fault? And yeah, he makes a couple of bad decisions in the postseason. I don't get it. But isn't it a point where, I don't know, the upper front office, we have to have a new philosophy there because, well, we got.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's Counsell's fault. I'm saying that.
But I mean, look at the groceries he had to cook with though this year.
Oh, sure. And maybe there should be a philosophical change. And immediately I thought, well, let's go get a bunch of bats. Let's finally be a team that has bats. Then you look at San Diego, they've got all the bats and they won 79 games.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Baseball, I just think it's so fluid. We always hold people accountable for situations they can't control.
Well, lost to an Arizona team that right now is looking like one of the best teams in baseball.
But they shouldn't even be in the playoffs.
Well, I agree with your tweet you put out the other day about less teams in the playoffs. I'm with you on that. See, if you had put topics like that out there and about bad coaches in college and the NFL, you and I would probably have never fought. Where was this when I needed you?
What the fuck you talking about? I came up with all the topics.
You did?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. We both came up with topics.
Yeah, we did. But when I do come up with a good topic, I'm like, fuck. I'll just that would have been but no, so I've come up with the coaches topic before.
Yeah.
Although I frame it as I could coach 9 wins instead of saying like, hey, Freems, these coaches, man, they're making boneheaded decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like they get too much credit than they deserve? I go, Matt LaFleur sucks. I could do his job, 9 wins. And you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so that's where we start fighting. Because I'm like, what?
See why this would work now? Because I have grown. I recognize it.
Well, because when you say you can coach, I mean, none of us could coach in the NFL. But these guys, it's amazing how these guys what
Cristobal doesn't know to kneel down. Like, what is that?
That's you coach, you're there in the office 12 months a year, 15 hours a day. What? How does that happen? How does nobody on that assistant coaching staff tell him to take a knee there? I don't get it. Last night, the decision, which it could, I wish it would have back for a number of reasons. The Packers would have won, but how do you trust your field goal kicker to kick a 52-yarder over trying to get a foot? Huh?
Oh yeah, McDaniels. Yeah.
What? That's up there with the Miami decision. And then you give the Packers great field position if you don't make it. As it is, if you make the field goal, Packers can go right down and tie the game.
So my issue with Monday night is that LaFleur lost to that guy. Like, LaFleur lost that guy. So I tweeted out on Tuesday, name me one thing LaFleur does good. because I am pretty out on LaFleur right now. We've seen a sample size for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like he's grown. I feel like he makes the same game decision management things. I feel like we were supposed to get this flashy Shanahan offense. There's this great quote from George Kittle once who says sometimes Shanahan will run a play that will not work on purpose because we know it's going to set something up in the fourth quarter. And then I saw another tweet where it's like, I think LaFleur just likes to go run, pass. Like it's the 1980s, and we haven't come up with any of these decisions. Where is this genius LaFleur that I thought I would see? And so I put out this tweet, and somehow it came to be like Packer fans are at the stage of having a bad quarterback where they're blaming the coach.
Mm-hmm.
And while Jordan Love did not play well on Monday at all, I think it's way too early to make a decision on him. And I think we've seen it. I've seen more like flashes from Jordan Love this year than I've seen confidence building moments from our coach. And I think that it is like, I think there's a possibility that we could win a Super Bowl one day with Jordan Love as our quarterback. I don't think we're ever going to win a Super Bowl with Matt LaFleur as our coach.
I'm this year, I'm actually encouraged by Love's performance. Now, you look at that and you'll say 3 interceptions. Look at the bad decisions. Well, Brett Favre made those type of decisions back in the 90s when you were at Woodworth Middle School. Okay. You remember watching that?
Rosenau Elementary.
Oh, elementary. Okay. But I mean, that Favre made those same decisions.
No, Favre snuck into my college. He did 1 year.
He stuck in your college.
Well, not like that, but Favre was a quarterback from when I was in second grade until my junior year of college.
Okay.
It's a long time.
Thought you meant he went catting around at lacrosse. I was like, what?
It may have happened.
It may have happened. Who knows? Better or else. But I'm okay with Love. I'm encouraged with Love. Yeah, he's gonna some interceptions, but this is a learning. He's gonna learn from all this. LaFleur. Now the thing is, they didn't have Aaron Jones last night. That's a big
right.
loss.
And Bakhtiari's been hurt.
And Bakhtiari's
and the receivers are all like 15 years old.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't expect much out of the Packers this year. I was surprised the way they won that game down in Chicago. Now the Bears are proving to be bad, but my expectations weren't that high. Yeah, and I thought that LaFleur had some success. He's a great regular season coach and all that, but you had Aaron Rodgers. Okay, let's not discount him. And I know you don't like him, but let's face it, Rodgers got that guy bought him some more years in Green Bay. Now we'll see. If they have a bad year, I don't think LaFleur's job is in jeopardy. Do you?
No, I don't think that the Packers move slowly anyway, but I don't think that the NFL rationale moving slowly or not, you don't, even if they go like, that's the other thing. We don't expect a lot this year. Like people are reacting. People come into the season expecting 6 or 7 wins and then reacting as if we should have 10 or 11 wins. Mm-hmm. That horse collar play?
Yeah.
Where Watson should have scored
last
season. That's what we'd be talking about for 10 minutes because it would have cost us a win and we'd be so mad. This year, it's like, who cares? We'll win, lose, whatever. We'll come up with whatever we come up with. The goal is to figure out what's going on with Jordan Love. I tweeted something about Love too, because I'm really big on these 5 games he played, he should have played last year. I don't think Rodgers should have played at 4-8. His thumb was hurt.
I agree.
I think he kind of forced his way. And he almost did make the playoffs, but also they did not. And you would have got those 5 games of learning because I think there's some things Love did. Love, I think he has routes down where he knows where he wants to throw, but he's got like tunnel vision right now. He doesn't see. That's why those interceptions happen, at least the first 2. He didn't see the guys. And so that sucks. He's got to play through that. You got to learn through that. You got to grow. So there are going to be, and I know he's been in the system for 3 years, but he hasn't played. Oh, 1 game here, 1 game there. That doesn't matter. He needs to play. He needs to play consistently, and he's getting that. And I say something like that, and so definitive with, no, Bart, this is who he is. Like after last night, we have decided, or Monday night, we have decided this is who he is. Jordan Love bad. Packer fans, LOL. 30 years of misery. And I don't think we can make any determination like that. You can look and say that individual game was bad. That individual game was okay. I can't say Jordan Love is bad. I can't say he's fine.
No.
I can't say he's good. There's way not enough data for that.
No, but I mean, do you feel encouraged though, like I do about the guy, that even though he's throwing a few interceptions, that's to be expected, and there's something there, as the great Tom Parker, our former program director, used to say, there's something there, right?
There is something there. There's something there in Daniel Jones. There's something there in Justin Fields. There's something there in some of these other quarterbacks. So Love needs to get past that, because I think if he's at a level of, there's really only 8 quarterbacks that are franchise quarterbacks. And if he's not a franchise quarterback, then I think that they should maybe move on. But you can't determine that right now.
Yeah, I mean, again, the slack I'm going to cover here, or cut here, is that LaFleur has not had all his guys this year. One guy or another has been out. Sometimes a handful of those guys. Some of the guys you're really counting on offense. They didn't have Alexander on defense last night. So that's the slack I'm going to cut. The Raiders aren't a very good team, but the Packers aren't a very good team. They got a few nice things on defense. They probably should have switched defensive coordinators in the offseason, but we're just have to grow. This is it. But you know what's coming out these days? Oh, this is like those Packers teams of the 70s and 80s. I'm tired of hearing that, because we were spoiled from 30 years of great football or playoff type football. But we're going to have to grow with these guys. And that's how I would expect them.
This Packer teams of 1992 and 2008.
Yeah.
When we had a first-year quarterback for the first time.
Yep. Absolutely.
Like, I hate that too. It's like,
we'd be back for bad sports radio if we're going to agree all the time.
Well, that I blame on you, because I'm the cerebral one, and you've caught up to me, and you're like,
I've been agreeing with stuff you say on Twitter all the time, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Would you agree on this one, that if the Milwaukee Bucks roster was the exact Celtics roster, and the Celtics had Giannis and Dame and Middleton, people would crown the Celtics. Just as it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter who's here.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, of course.
I think so. Why do they do that? Why is it this way?
Well, because people want to shit on Milwaukee. That's why.
But it's not that. It's a love for Boston. They have won one title in 40 years.
I know, but it's that, that's the way it is. And those, same with the Lakers. If the Lakers had this roster, it would be the same thing. Yeah, no, I know. I think that's just the way it is. I like the
over under on their wins, Chuck, is 48.5. That is like illegal for the Bucks.
48.5.
Yeah.
Are they expecting Giannis to sit out half of those games?
What people don't understand is, like, people are like, oh, they traded for Dame, and then the Celtics traded for Drew, which all of a sudden he's elite. They traded for Dame with Giannis. My big point is, you have two guys, like, remember all the years where Giannis got stuck by the wall? And remember all the years where Dame had no one to pass to? Now they're playing together.
And throwing Chris Middleton.
This is, and Middleton and Brooke. This is going to be the best NBA team we've seen since Warriors with KD. I
think so. Now the key is the health of all these guys. That's the
yeah. I'm a little worried about that.
That's the X factor there, and I think that's where the 48 wins comes in. How many times are these guys going to be played together? Are we just going to piece it together all regular season and then get to the postseason? Then it's everybody's on. I think it's going to be like this, Bart, this winter. Is it going to be like, oh yeah, the Bucks are playing Oklahoma City tonight. Oh, but Dame is sitting out. Oh, but Giannis is sitting out. Oh, it's Middleton's turn to sit out. Is it going to be one of those? Oh, because
now we have two superstars that
we haven't had the big three that play together all year long. This is the first time they did. Oh,
well, I don't know about that. I think they'll play. I think they want to fine tune this thing.
Well, I hope so. The regular season is just so long. Preseason should be.
That's why I'm glad they made this trade, because now it won't be super boring.
No, I had. And it seems weird to say this, though. My interest in the Bucks had been at a lower level right now, because it's like, the last 2 years have been disappointing. But getting Dame Lillard just kind of reinvigorated me a little bit on this. I mean, Damian Lillard, man, just, anytime that guy can put up a 60 spot.
Do you think we would be talking a lot about Brewers Stadium?
Well, I think it's going to get done. Although in this state, it's going to be a political football. I just think it's going to get done. They're not losing the Brewers. We're not losing the Brewers. I think
I don't think anybody wants them to leave. I just think it's like we gotta go through all this stuff.
I think the mayor of Milwaukee was right. Cavalier Johnson, all that parking lot they got out there, let's do something with that. Let's build a brew district.
Freeves' team beer district?
Why wouldn't I be?
Are you an urbanist?
I don't know what the hell you mean by that, but I'm telling you, I was all for the Deer District. I love the Deer District.
Because there's this part of Twitter, urbanist Twitter,
okay,
where they want to improve cities every day.
Yeah.
And I agree with a lot, like tear down 794, that whole hunk of junk. I'm with that. Do something with the Brewers shit. Yes, I'm with that. And then people get like annoyed. It's like, oh, Jesus, we can't change everything.
Well, everything is turning into political. Well, if you believe in this, you must be a Democrat. Well, if you believe in this, you must be a Republican. If you believe in this, no, I think, the 790, I don't live in Milwaukee, the city of Milwaukee, so that doesn't really bother me. I'm there enough, but around Miller Park, around AmFam Field, why haven't we built around there? Why haven't we built bars and places for people to go to during the season and out of season? Why haven't we? Why haven't we tried that out? Not once.
I wish we could like on a map, like on Sim City. Remember that old game?
Yeah.
I wish I could just like move the ballpark closer to Pato and that closer then to downtown. Like you should have to get it.
It's close enough though, isn't it? It's a mile away.
Yeah, but if you were at a baseball game and you want to go to Pato, you're getting in a cab.
Well, you just go that back road, right?
Yeah, but you're not walking that. It's too far.
It's probably a good thing that it's not within walking distance. It's probably a good thing for our wallets.
Well, yeah, but you think Pato would be on top of all that shit?
Well, I think it's in a good spot. It's right between both big arenas. It's in a fine spot. It is. I don't know. I don't have any problem with it.
I'm just trying to get cars off the roads. Give the roads back to the people.
Well, what do you think of my idea of building a beer district?
I think it would be so much better if you could just swap Blue Mound. If you could put Blue Mound where the highway is, and if the highway was where Blue Mound was, this would alleviate so much.
Of course it would, but
it'd be great.
We can't do that. The stadium got further and further. We're going stadiums. Our basketball arenas are getting further and further north. Arena, Bradley Center.
Every 20 years. Every 20 years, it moves a block.
We're going to be in Whitefish Bay pretty soon, even past our living quarters. But baseball stadiums are moving south. So,
yep, every 30 years it moves one stadium length.
Yes. So pretty soon we're going to be in Greendale. Well, not in our lifetime, but yeah, I think this whole stadium thing's going to get figured out. I'm not too worried about it. They're staying. I'm just disappointed that we're not talking more about the Brewers and Dodgers today, but seeing the team that beat us is up 2-0 on LA. The Dodgers just thought they'd roll the helmets out and win this series. That's a passionate Diamondbacks team. I was in their locker room. I had to cover their locker room for AP after the game. And Lavallo, their manager, man, you saw Council's post-game talk with his team after they won the division. Lavallo made me want to run through a brick wall.
Yeah, Craig doesn't do that. That's why it might be maybe time.
My God, Lavallo, he was dropping F-bombs. I'm not saying you have to do that, but man, I was in there. I wanted to play for him. I wanted to grab a bat.
Yeah, and Craig's got his players being all like, I don't know, man. Maybe next year. Oh, geez.
Well, that's Yelich. Yelich says, well, we got beat by a better team, and maybe next year we'll. I don't like that mentality.
Well, no, Atanazio's son probably wrote that script for Yelich to say because they're boys.
But yeah, Yelich. And then One thing though, on the press conference on Tuesday morning, with Matt Arnold, somebody asked about Yelich. Oh yeah, he had a great year for us. I don't think he had a great year. Nobody pressed him yet. So I would have said, I mean, if this was New York, you could say, so 275 and 19 homers for a guy you're paying $200 million. That's great in your mind. That's a great year for a guy who was a 40 home run, 300 batting average type of guy.
See, you can't press him as much because in New York, you're not going to run into these people. You're not going to run into David Stearns at Brooklyn Euros.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in Green Bay, it's like they all shop at the same fucking Aldi. So
P Square Mall.
Yeah, they're not going to be like, you know, I can't. When my wife lived in Green Bay and I was up there, I literally saw Mark Murphy like once a month.
See, I do you think that's it though? That you have to deal with these guys because, and you know, when Craig does get edgy up there, or Budenholzer gets edgy up there, people are like, oh, you know, McCarthy did the same thing. You know, he would just, you know, it'd be like Ralph Crandon up there. He'd just stop and huff and puff, and people would back away. I think these guys like Craig got pressed for something a couple of weeks ago, and Craig does this stuff, and you know, now's not the time for that. Not him going to New York, but it was something else. I think
it's not market size necessarily. It's market space. Like Green Bay is so small. Like they're not trying to be friends with them, but also you see them shopping.
Well, I don't think you need to put a gun to their heads, but I don't know. Christian Yelich didn't have a very good year, in my opinion. Okay. And this was a disappointing exit. And the GM said, Bart, they had a great year. No, they didn't have a great year because you end it in 27 hours. That's not good enough. That shouldn't be good enough for me. It shouldn't be good enough for you. Shouldn't be good enough for anybody.
If I was the manager or coach of a team, I would invite a fan every week to sit in, or I would say, all right, somebody read some tweets about me. I gotta actually respond to the people. That's what I would do. Yeah. Now, in real life, I block everyone who insults me. But if I was a coach, I'd be different.
I thought this. Here's what I think a coach or a manager or a football coach should do. At the end of the game, they put the microphone right at home plate. And the fans, Craig Counsell walks out there. Craig, why did you bat Jesse Winker, who hasn't played for you in 3 months and's got a bad everything? Why are you batting him? Let him answer the question. These guys should come out.
Why did he do that? I don't
know. Arnold said because he had some production at AAA. So
yeah, but they had to know. They set up a situation where they were going to get booed. What the fuck are you doing?
I sneezed. I have a dusty studio here.
No, I don't mean what are you doing. I mean Brewers. What the fuck are you doing? I saw you sneeze. It was fine. You can excuse yourself. I've been coughing all summer.
Yeah, I don't get it. And to do it 2 nights in a row, pinch hit him. I mean, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it's like, hey, for the fans that didn't see it last night.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Here's the attraction. We're gonna do it again.
We'll do it again for you for those of you who missed it in game 1.
Yeah, so stupid. All right, well, that's all I got for you today.
Yeah, Locked On Brewers, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and Bart Winkler will be on with me next week.
What do you want to talk about? Oh, Brewers probably.
We'll talk about this. Yeah, it's not going to be as casual as this.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we're all over the map, but we always are anyway, and that's part of the appeal.
Well, I'll be more serious. I'll have notes prepared. I'd like the questions in advance.
Mm-hmm.
I always hated that when people wanted questions in advance.
Is that
what do you think I'm going to ask you?
Is that how our president operates?
What are you doing?
Hey, doesn't matter what side of the party you're on. We all know that.
I'd love to be that alert at 82 years old. I'd love to be alive at 62 years old, so I'm not gonna rip on a guy.
We won't go there.
Jesus. Frames. That's the red dot theory that Tom Parker always had. You always go where you should. You avoid that red dot. Let's go that red dot. What was I going to say? Questions. It's always like, well, okay, it's not. You'd have like a baseball writer on. They'd be like, what questions you gonna ask me? I don't know, man. About fucking baseball. Isn't that the shit you cover?
Yeah. I don't know. I like the guys who say, ask me whatever you want.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put a gun to your head. You're coming on my show, giving up your time.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
What are you going as for Halloween?
Rowdy Roddy Piper. Although in our new suburb that we live in here in Lomira, nobody's having the Halloween party. Shannon floated the idea about a month ago about us hosting it. She hasn't brought it up since then, and I keep it on the DL because I don't want that mess. I don't want people using my bathrooms. I don't want to be cleaning up for 3 days after 30 people are running through my house. No parties. The parties are away games, not home games for Freeman.
There you go.
How about that? I mean, right?
There was a period in college, freshman year, I'd go to house parties and I'd go to the bathroom and I would just pee everywhere.
That's what I thought. That's exactly what I'm trying to avoid. What are you doing for Halloween? You're not going anywhere for Halloween, right?
Well, trick-or-treating.
Oh, your son, that's different. I'm saying
trick-or-treating here is during the Packers-Vikings game.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be one of the many dads that are walking around with my kid with a phone in my hand.
Packers might be out of the wild card chase by then.
Yeah, it's true. I probably won't need to pay attention. But I'll do a post-game show, so.
Yeah, no. I know. I catch them. I catch them. All right. Well, we got it done again.
Chuck and Winkler. Free content.
We're
just giving you your wildest dreams.
Just giving of ourselves.
All right, Frames.
All right. Talk to you next week on Locked On Brewers.
Yep, Chuck does Locked On Brewers if you guys didn't know. It's available on Spotify.
Apparently, I don't have any Twitter account because you just put Chuck on there.
Don't do that again.
What?
You put that name in.
I did?
We did this. This happened last time.
Well, I don't remember.
I can't edit your name. Are you kidding me?
I didn't know that. No, I didn't know that.
Wait, I can edit your name. Look at this.
You're hosting.
Look at I can edit your name.
Yes, you are hosting.
I didn't know that.
There you go. Yeah, you're hosting.
I even spelled it right.
Yeah, you're right. But you're hosting. I think you should be able to do anything you want.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. See, you were just chastising me, but I don't remember us talking about it last time.
Oh.
I don't even remember what we talked about a half hour ago here on the show.
No.
But by no.
Right.
What are you doing?
Later, Freems.
All right, we'll see ya.